Hey guys, probably won't be fiddling around out here too much today because it's the weekend, family's home, but I thought I'd come out here and play just a little bit. I went ahead and cut this out for my notch, and you can see here how I braced it. I actually had to bend this down to get it to follow the contour. Alright, so my daughter decided to join me today. Say hi, Jessica. And she's going to not touch my stuff, so put that down. But we thought it'd be funny, so careful, it'll bite you. It'll bite you. Yes. All right. We'll see you. Love you.
Love you.
All right, guys. So here's where we're at. I got to whittle this down just a little bit. I need to find something with a little bit better radius on it to beat on this. I don't really have any round bar. My bad. I need to get some, obviously, but I need to just radius this just a little bit more. But the rest of it's going to fit really, really nice. So, got to do that. Here's the inside of this. I've had some questions. Had quite a few questions about my tools lately. I've got quite a few new subscribers, so let me go over some. I like these double. You spin them back and forth, basically. That makes your life so much easier. It keeps from having to burn your arms up. I usually try to I buy most of my tools used. Mac. These are Mac, Snap-on. I bought all this stuff used. I don't, kind of cheap. I don't go out and buy, $400 or $500 brand new Snap-on stuff. And I don't make payments, so I just buy them from other people who have already done that, and then they go out of business. So, this little guy here, this is 80 grit. And let me show you how this works. It's called a Merit. You just pop it off. It's got this special little head on it. Got that. I love these. I've got tiny arbor for this. I'll show you it. I like to get the 3-inch disc, or the 2-inch disc. I think I have in this. I'm not sure if they're 2 or 3, but then I've got a 1 here. So then this kind of bends over, and you can get into little angles and stuff like that. But I bought the 1-inch and the 2-inch, so yeah, that's a 2-inch disc there. And of course the other ones are made by 3M, they're roll-lock and they're 3-inch. I always buy 3-inch and then clip them down to fit my 2-inch because you almost never wear this middle out. So you wear the outside out like that's showing right there, and then you can clip that down with a pair of 10 cutters, 10 snips or whatever, and keep using it. Most all my hammers are Snap-on. I was just told when I worked at the body shop, buy the best, and these are really nice balanced hammers that, yeah, they cost more, but man, I'll never buy another one. I mean, I'd never have to buy another one, plain and simple. Love this tool, Ingersoll Rand. Bought it Northern Tool. I use the crap out of it. Like I said, all these are Mac. I have multiple ones of these so that I don't have to sit and change discs and have to, do that number, because that's a pain in the butt. You'll see I've got several more up there. Cut-off wheels, skinny, fatter. I'll double these up to do the big grinding. What else? I don't know. Anyway, that was one of the questions I had about what kind of disc I'm using. I've got the wire wheel set up there. I've got multiple. I love these things. They take off paint, rust, and all that kind of stuff. Multiple dollies, all kinds of stuff. This right here is a piece of shit. This is central pneumatic. As soon as that disc hits the metal, it pretty much stops it. It's just a piece of shit. I mean, this is one of the only Harbor Freight tools I think I bought besides that blaster, and the blaster is fantastic. But these kind of tools here, in my opinion, once you have some of these, you'll never buy another one of those. But it's just my opinion. And because it just takes so much longer to cut through anything, or if it will cut through anything. And I've got it set and air right and the whole thing, and the rest of my tools work fantastic. So I got to just give it to cheap Central Pneumatic, Taiwan, Chinese, whatever it is. Multiple different hammers, different sets and types, and these are made by Dagger. If you want a good set of cheap hammers, I say cheap, they're relatively cheap for what they are. They're made by Dagger, but I bought this one, and this one. Came in a kit and came with a bunch of the dollies too. And I still use the dollies, are fantastic, they work great. This has got a higher crown on it, this is a lower crown, and then these again are all snap-ons. And you can buy this, like this here, I bought this off of eBay, it's a Fairmount. And I polished, cleaned it up, polished it. It was a little bit pitted or whatever, but that's a funky, good, long, you can get into places. Bought me a little hickory handle and fixed it up. So you can do that, buy heads and just buy the handles. And, you can buy those heads for pennies on the dollar and just make your own. These kind of dollies with the deals on them. There's another snap-on hammer that I use all the time. You can see I've tried to protect the wooden. These are hard to find. These snap-on handles, man, I don't know why, but it's just hard to find those, at least on eBay and stuff like that. If you can, you're going to pay $15 or so for it probably. Anyway, I'm not going to try to make this video too long. You see my slapping spoon, the bigger slapping spoon, chisels, air tools, you name it. I try to put all my bodywork tools and stuff up here where I can just grab them real quick. This big ass hammers I bought off eBay for almost nothing. It's a Martin USA, old school, back in the day when they made shit right type deal. What else? My paint guns are Iwatas. I've got an Iwata primer gun that I use. It's a Iwata gun sight, I believe. Got a 2.0 tip and a 3.0 tip. Anyway, bought this cabinet the other day for pretty cheap off of, it wasn't Craigslist, but anyway, I can put stuff in there. I'm thinking about putting my paint guns and stuff in there, but I'm thinking about throwing it up there. But I'll have to move that somewhere. But I'm thinking also that might make that too tall, so I'll have to figure out something for it. But man, I couldn't pass that up. Drawer slide good, everything, it's pretty cool. So what else? Tools. Lots of vices. I've been through a lot of this stuff with you guys before. Bolt bin I picked up for $100 was full of bolts and nuts and screws and just priceless. You know what I mean? When you run out of one, you don't have to run to Home Depot or wherever. These cabinets I picked up super cheap off the internet. I keep all my sandpapers, all my tape, dry coat, guide coat, Scotch-Brite, all my DAs up there, my straight line, who that's made by, Viking. It's a Viking. I had it rebuilt. I've never used it, but I've got it. So a lot of times I block sand everything. That would be perfect if you were trying to take a bunch of mud down. If you piled it on too high, I think. But for me, I'm trying to get it, really straight. So I usually hand block a lot of stuff. I'll take the tops off with the DAs, just the rough stuff where you have a line where you pull with your spreader, stuff like that. Of course, I've got my sun guns here. I've got my drills and all that stuff, battery set up. I bought that little guy off of eBay, pre-made, works amazing, love it. Little arbor press. Of course, this is a freaking mess. This is half my Camaro here. Anyway, yeah, I could probably go on for a while, but all my toolboxes, hand tools. Got this set up here to where I can just grab these when I'm working on something. It's really, so I got standard on this side and I got metric on this side. They're magnetized to my lift, so looky there. But yeah, and one of the guys was asking what kind of these little discs I'm using. These are called Power Lock. They're made by Marriott, but you have to have that little special arbor. And you can go through Granger, you can go through, there's several different places you can probably find those, but you got to have that little star shape if you go with the Power Lock setup. I love these, and the deal is on those, I bought 3 boxes of those with 100 in them, and I want to say I paid probably $15-20 for all 3 boxes because the guy was just getting rid of them. And then so I bought them home, and then I had to order the power lock arbors for them because they're different than the roll locks. And you guys all know what roll locks look like on the other side. So welder 140 HD, it's a Home Depot special. I've had it for freaking 8 years, I think. Never had a problem with it, not one time. Welds fantastic for sheet metal. If you want to go bigger than that, then you're going to start running into having to slow way down on your speed and feed, and just really heat the metal up. So that's kind of what I ran into when I was building that and building these here. But they did still penetrate, you can see, and all that. So what else? Impact driver, Snap-on impact driver. Bought that used, paid $100 for it. I mean, it's a $500, $400 or $500 3/4 or 3/8 inch drive. So yeah, I'm a cheap ass, but I shop a lot. You know what I mean? I get on Craigslist or the Facebook, whatever, shopping post or whatever, and you can just put in body tools and hammers and stuff like that, and find. I mean, pretty much everything I have in this shop is used at some point. I hardly ever buy anything new. It's just the way I do things. This deal here I built out from scrap metal from the Interstate Steel, I believe. I just went in there and said, "Hey, you got any scrap?" And I walked over and found a bunch of scrap stuff and said, "How much?" And they shot me, "Oh, give me $20 for that," or "Give me $10 for that," and bought the expanded steel down here. I use these a lot. Railroad tracks, if you don't have an anvil to beat metal over like this here, you can, these are freaking awesome. You can find those on eBay. The only problem is they'll be a little expensive to ship them because they're heavy. Lots of scrap metal pieces and stuff like that I just throw down here. What else? Oh yeah, Merca paper roller thing. That is awesome. Love that thing. Only problem is when you leave it out like I do and grind all the time, it still gets your paper all nasty and crap, so you end up wasting a piece or two. I really ought to put it up after I'm done with it, and I wouldn't have that problem. So, all right, well, that's going to be it. Any more questions, just holler. I mean, guys are surprised that I answer. They're like, "Oh, thanks for getting back with me." I mean, that's the gig, I thought anyway. I mean, we help each other out. Unless you're an asshole, and then I'm not going to help you out. I'm just going to tell you to go fuck yourself, basically. But yeah, if you're a good dude and you're legitimate and you're trying to work on your project and the whole deal, man, I'm off. I'll help you do whatever any questions I can help you with. And if I don't know the answer, I could probably know somebody who does and can find out. So, all right, guys, that's it. Yeah, a little bit at a time. I mean, that was quite a bit of work, but it's gonna work out. So, and I wished I'd have thought about this plate before I started that number, and I just brain farted. Actually, Matt said something about it, and I thought, oh damn, he's right. Because I got to cut back into it. So, but it is what it is. I'm gonna make it work. And Kevin, I know you hate that. It is what it is, but it is what it is. So, there. All right, see ya.